Hey Christian, thanks a lot for being here today for our creative talk. In 10 words, who are you?
I'm Christian and I'm the global CEO of the PKF Hospitality Group. We help people develop better hotels, I would say, in short.
Sounds good, sounds good.
Very ambitious goal.
And I'm Youri Sawerschel, the founder of Creative Supply, a branding and experience design agency, also helping hotels.
What's the biggest mistake in hotel development?
The biggest mistake in hotel development, I would say, not understand who your guests will be, spending too much money and creating spaces no one really needs.
I had something similar. I think biggest mistake is to really start with the design, the asset, with the size of the lobby, the color of the chandelier, but you haven't figured out what are you actually doing with that hotel, maybe.
Agree or disagree, feasibility studies limit creativity.
I have to strongly disagree here. So I don't think that feasibility studies limit creativity. I think it's exactly the opposite. They challenge creativity. I currently have a project that is very challenging in terms of making it work financially. And the group is getting so much more creative. It's unbelievable. So I think it goes hand in hand.
You know, there's this sentence from some French poet that says, creativity is born under constraint. And I think feasibility is a lot that. It's setting up, at least for creative people like us, it's setting up such huge constraints. And I think it's that of a fight between sometimes kind of pushing back what traditional feasibility study expect you to do. But I would agree with you. I don't think it limits it. I think it challenges it.
It can be a healthy fight, I think.
It's a healthy fight, yeah. If there is such thing.
No injuries.
AI or human concierge?
I'm a big fan of an actual human concierge. I think AI can assist. AI can even assist the human concierge, and it can also assist the guest. But at the end of the day, I would always rely on the recommendations of a human being I can, to a certain extent, identify with. I think that's the important aspect. Yeah, the relevance of the recommendations. Maybe both are good. I correct myself. It's all about the relevance. Maybe in future it will be easier to manage the relevance of the AI than to manage the relevance of the human being.
Yeah. I think hotel people will not like me, but I feel the AI concierge can and will be able to do so much more, from basic information to extended recommendations. So you lose the human touch, but the quality of information is probably better. I think managing both is what's difficult.
I think my question, or maybe the provocative question here is, would the AI concierge be able to get you the last tickets for the Garnier Opera in Paris?
Well, it depends. If the AI is selling it, yeah, for sure.
But there might be the difference still, hopefully.
It's true. It's true.
Should star ratings in Europe be abolished?
Star ratings, I hate them. Short answer, yes, they should be abolished. They are misleading. There are other ways to help people find out what hotel to select.
Are you even allowed to say that?
They're not paying me. I have no shares in any hotel rating system. I've always been a friend of brands that can replace star ratings, concepts that can replace star ratings, reviews, recommendations that can replace star ratings. So totally, please take it away.
5 stars means it's the best, it's luxury. 4 star means we didn't make it to 5 star and we are not as cool. 3 star means we're just some sort of basic hotel. 2 star means I really am not lucky I'm here. 1 star is, does that even exist? But I think 5 star is a bit like when you have a 3-star Michelin restaurant, even though nobody knows how the stars are given, I mean, this idea is the best. So maybe 5 star still makes sense, but not in the traditional way
Yeah, no, absolutely agree.
Why are light switches so complex in hotel rooms?
Berlin to Jakarta, it's impossible to switch off all the lights in a room. Why?
Why are they so complex? My theory is that there are some amazing engineers that just go crazy and come up with things that they think are fascinating, and they might be fascinating, but at the end, the end user, the hotel guest, is intuitive. It needs to be intuitive, and yes, I agree. There needs to be this one switch that allows you to just switch off everything. And then the room should actually be dark. Even if you manage to switch off everything, it's still not dark in most hotel rooms. And then I get really angry because what is it all about at the end of the day? The very essence of a hotel stay is still to get a good night's sleep. And there are some people that need darkness for that.
The engineer is to blame for the light switch, you think?
I would say it's the engineer, but it's also sometimes the owner and investor, yeah, who's intrigued by something fancy, whatever. Yeah, that's often the case, and we come back to the very first question. Yeah, it's guest-centric. It needs to be guest-centric. Don't build the hotel for yourself or for the engineer. Build it for the guest. Yeah, sleep in the mock-up room prior to multiplying the mock-up room. Yeah, really. Most people have never slept in the mock-up room of their hotel investment. I recommend to every developer, sleep in that mock-up room. And if something doesn't work, change it.
I think my view on it is that the developer, they don't have to sleep in the room once the hotel is ready. So the light switch gets screwed in the process.
That is true, but they still want to earn money. So they better get it right. Yeah.
Is it riskier to overinvest or underinvest in a hotel launch?
I would say it's riskier to underinvest. Don't be stingy when it comes to the hotel opening. I'm a big supporter of a great opening party, for example. It really needs to make a difference in the market. People need to know about it. And even before the opening, you need to get people excited and curious about it. So the opening, as you know, starts months, if not years, sometimes prior to the actual physical opening of the hotel. So don't be stingy. There are other ways to save money, not in the pre-opening.
I'm not sure I agree with you. I was recently on a call with some hotel in Paris, and they were spending €1 million just on the opening party. So it's over-investing.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, how much can you do with €1 million instead of a party? And maybe I like the minimum viable product way, being an entrepreneur, where I'm thinking, well, build it up in a way that it works, see what works, see what doesn't, grow this, and then amplify once you have the market feedback or data. Otherwise, you spend so much money at launch for something that people maybe don't even like. Think restaurants, for example.
You don't have to spend 1 million. Yeah, I mean, maybe that's exaggerated, but I think there needs to be some sort of big bang, and maybe that doesn't need to be so expensive. And I agree, maybe the big bang is only at the end of what we call the soft opening or whatever. Yeah, surely there will be mistakes, and then you get rid of the mistakes, and then it needs to be some
You won the party.
party, yes. And very often they forget to invite us as the advisors. That's the biggest mistake.
Sustainability sells or sustainability costs?
I would say both. I mean, you definitely need to invest into sustainability measures, and then ideally in the long run, they will pay off. But I think it's an illusion to think that it's not an investment in the beginning. Yeah, that I mean, there is research about it, and there is evidence that still investing into technically supported, technology supported sustainability measures means a higher investment in the beginning, but then over time there's an amortization, and it absolutely makes sense.
It pays off in Europe, would you say?
Yes. If you don't invest at some point, you might end up with a so-called stranded asset. That's the danger for many investments these days.
I mean, it's a cost or an investment, but does it sell? I'm not sure if it sells, unfortunately. The number one reason you pick a hotel is maybe location, maybe price, maybe something else, but I'm not sure it sells.
What you're saying is, and I agree, I think sustainability measures should not be a marketing gimmick. You actually need to believe that it's the right thing and that it leaves a positive impact in the long run. That the whole greenwashing thing, forget it. Yeah. There are many measures that are not actually sustainability measures. Yeah, the whole discussion about, that the guest supplies the little shampoo and.
What's the number one trend in hospitality that needs to stop?
I think tablets. I hate it. No. I need to mention the name, or maybe I should not. Yeah, but it was probably the prime hotel in Hong Kong. The guest room was just overspecced. I think I had three or four tablets, iPads or whatever, in my very guest room. I was staying there as a single guest. I was overwhelmed, all sorts of gimmicks. I don't have that at home. And I don't think I will have that at home in 10 years. Stop. I'm not saying that I'm against technology. I'm all for a smart guest room, a smart hotel, but that needs to happen in the background. Get rid of tablets, please.
I think my take of the trend that has to stop is local communities. Like, I don't know how many briefs I get every month where people want to create some sort of cool urban hotel inspired by local communities, treating a bit the community as some sort of zoo animal that people come and see. But the reality is, it doesn't work. I mean, a couple of players have managed to pull it off. Hoxton is I think, good example of this. Soho House, maybe. But anybody else hasn't. And they think that by putting some nice couch in their lobby, they will have a local community with local artists. I mean, I think we can do better than that. This trend has to stop. And then tablets, I agree with you about the tablet.
What will define the future of luxury in the hospitality industry?
Future luxury, I think, that's obviously the big one, the philosophical one. Most people would probably say, and I agree, it's time, it's space. Those are luxuries already today. I think going forward, maybe something that I would call connectedness with yourself. Okay. Also with yourself, this earthing. Maybe now it sounds a bit philosophical, this being grounded, having the opportunity to not getting completely lost, digital, artificial spaces, connections, real connections, and also connecting back to yourself and to one's own true nature. That will be luxury, probably. It's sad in a way, but sometimes I observe myself from the outside and I think I got a little disconnected from my immediate surroundings because I'm in other worlds, professionally speaking also.
I agree with what you say, even though I wonder sometimes if it's not a bit of a trend to speak about this in this overwhelmed digital world we are in. But I think future luxury is going to be a lot about intention of the luxury provider to, it's not just about the space and the size of the lobster, but it's a lot about what's the reasoning, the human intention actually, because I think it's going to become more and more relevant. What's the human intention behind that experience that you're offering and why it matters? And because this is human crafted, it will be luxury on its own from a supplier point of view. And then from a guest point of view, picking up concepts, luxury brands that are humanly crafted with intention, signal status and luxury on its own. Because, I mean, when we see everything that's happening with AI, we can really see that 5-10 years from now on, AI is writing all your marketing copy and your branding copy, and there's no human involved anymore, good or bad. So I think true luxury, it's a bit like Swiss watches. You can have the Apple Watch that measure every breath, but people still have that mechanical watch. There's zero rational behind it, except the love for the craft and the attachment to something very traditional and grounded, almost like in the past, and the status symbol connected to it.
And you can still understand. Yeah, I'm not saying I really understand the quite complex mechanisms of a Swiss watch, but still I can sort of relate to the mechanical functions. Digital, I'm like, okay, I have no clue what's happening inside. Thank God you didn't say authenticity.
As the future of luxury? What does that even mean?
I hate it. I mean, I'm still looking for a better. I mean, I get it. Yeah, what people sometimes mean if they use authenticity, but unfortunately, so-called authentic things are most of the times not authentic at all. It's a projection, or it's an image we have, of a typical Italian meal, but that's not what a Roman person would call authentic.
Yeah.
It's probably more authentic to go to the Japanese ramen place in a Rome suburb. That's authentic.
What's the ROI of a hotel brand?
You're clearly the branding person, so I want to hear what you have to say. A hotel brand, yeah, if you get it right, the ROI is certainly reflected in a potential premium in that you can see in your revenue. I mean, if you look at luxury goods outside of hospitality, people are surely willing to pay a premium, and it's not necessarily for the craft that you mentioned. Sometimes it is also, but most of the times it's a sheer brand that actually doesn't have any material value behind it. So that's clearly then an ROI, and that's justified. I admire brands that accomplish that. And it might be interesting at the point of time when you might divest a brand and sell it to a third party. That's clearly at the latest then the moment where you might see a very interesting return on investment. Good example, I think, is 25 hours. Yeah, I love the guys. I followed them right from the beginning. Big supporter of them. We helped them in the beginning. When I heard what the sales price was for that brand, with at that time, a handful of open properties, I was that's clearly a return on investment on building a brand. Chapeau.
What's your take on soft brand versus, let's say, the global brand? Allowing independent owners to develop their own brand but still benefit from distributions. Does it actually make sense?
Soft brands, I think it's still a bit of an experiment, and we don't really know where we will end up with it. All the big groups now have their soft brands, not just one, several soft brands. Of course, it's all about maximizing revenues in distribution. But I can follow from a business standpoint. But is it a brand? I don't know, if you say soft brand, is it a
I never thought about that.
It's a distribution behind it, yes.
Yeah.
But do I need a soft brand for that? Or can I not just say, okay, please help me with the distribution, put me on your website. Do I need a soft brand for that? Because what's the brand promise? Is it a soft promise what's the value of a soft promise? It's a maybe, maybe not. That's not a promise. Not a big fan.
Got you. Value of the area of the brand. Well, I'm thinking about projects where there was no brand and then there's a brand being built and an overall concept. And by brand, I mean like something transversal that touches, the decoration, the service, the customer offering, the whole thing. Not just, I think that changing the logo and the visual identity of the hotel will do nothing except the graphic designer happy. But if you look at it in a holistic way, even though I don't like the word, bringing together, the design, the operation, the marketing, I think the uplift you can get is typically, if you look at top line, anywhere between 10 to 30%, assuming there's a proper refurb, which can be accomplished. So I think there's a huge ROI. The problem is that we never have enough data because you always look at one property and you don't know what the other case would have been.
Yeah.
And then trying to isolate the brands, it's very difficult. So that's the reality of it. We had clients who sell residences, so not hotel, but actually sell residence on Blueprint. And initially, they just named the building Chalet 1, Chalet 2, Chalet 3. And after that, they started to brand independently each of the chalets. And they've seen an increase between 10 to 15% in sales price. And that's pure real estate, so less hotel. So I think there's definitely an ROI on brand, especially when you think about how much it costs to actually build or renovate a hotel. The branding costs, is a drop in the ocean.
Now I have a question for you, Youri, because we already have two words that we blacklisted. One is authenticity, and you just blacklisted holistic.
Indirectly.
Is there another word that you would like to see disappear from workshops?
From workshops?
And concept papers that just unnerves you?
Engagement.
Engagement.
You want to engage the people. I think it's such a weird idea because engagement means anything from saying hello to holding the door to clicking a save now button. Engagement is really tiring. Community. I really hate lifestyle.
Oh, God, that's the worst.
Because it doesn't mean anything. I'm sure I can find more.
Lifestyle is probably the number one. Yeah.
Who ruins great concepts faster? Owners, operators, or guests?
Who ruins great concepts faster? I dare to say guests.
That's the easy one.
And it's very likely to happen that you create an amazing concept to a large extent probably for yourself because you identify with it. But then in the end, you get the wrong guests. Do not match the concept at all and then damaged the concept. It's I think it's this Soho House exercise. I think they really managed for many years to stay very concise with what the brand, what the concept is, and targeting the right people. Now I see it's becoming increasingly diluted, letting other people in. And I'm not for discriminating anyone, but sometimes you just have to be discriminating if you want to build a strong brand.
Well, it depends. Are you protecting your brand or are you scaling your brand? I think if you have one unit, one place, it's very easy to keep the control. Once you start expanding, short-term profit is more attractive than...
It's interesting now as a business case, to see with the growth they have now globally, what really happens with the wrong guests and their impact on the concept and the others. But often it happens right from the beginning. You create a concept, but you have the wrong people. So where's the flaw? It's the communication. You do not manage to properly communicate what you are actually selling. I think that's again where you come into play. What I love, for example, if I just may mention this, is what Google Maps is doing. Usually on Google Maps, you find this 5 words that exactly describe what it is. It's a restaurant to eat schnitzel. Period.
Yeah. I think depending on who you ask about who ruins the concept the most, people are going to point fingers in different ways, right? I would tempted to say that operators have a tendency, because they most of the time are not involved in the development of the concept part, and then they take an asset and they have imperatives which are to run the operations and not to execute the concept. Their KPIs are not there. And then I think consultants like us, where if we don't read well the capacity of the owner, the setup of the operators, and who's going to do what, we can make recommendations that sounds good on slides, but then actually screw the concept when it opens.
I fully agree with your point here. And we're facing that gap very often. You have a great concept. Now you need to educate the future operator on that concept. And that is a big challenge. You cannot leave it to the operator. Yeah? The one that created the concept needs to stay on board and probably speak to every single employee that will be in the hotel at the opening day to really make sure that everyone got it. And then you probably even need, and I'm selling you a business now, you probably even need a continuous brand watch. Yeah? Someone who just questions every now and then, are we still true to our concept? Yeah. Do we still get the right communication from the staff when we ask about something?
Yeah.
I feel you. Yeah. We just need more operators, actually. Yeah. We probably need more owner operators also that dare not only to develop a concept, but that also dare to stay in and build an operating platform. Yeah.
Maybe some ideas for the future. Thanks a lot, Christian, for this talk. It was great, and looking forward to the next one.
Thanks a lot, Youri.